I wish I could tell you that I had better news, but it's just been confirmed that 84% of people are about to be crushed. And I want to explain exactly what's going on here because, again, this is going to impact millions and millions of people, and this is going to have a devastating effect on the U.S. economy. So I'm going to explain exactly what's happening here. All you got to do just takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button, and let's get started. So first off, one of the biggest issues that we are facing right now is we do not have money. According to multiple reports, according to the Fed especially, they believe that the American people are going to run out of money the end of September. It's September 22nd. We have 8 days. So the Federal Reserve is already expecting that the American people are going to run out of money in just 8 days. That's devastating. But then you throw on other catalysts, and this is going to crush the American people. Here's what's happening. Right now, credit card debt is just going bananas. It's surging. We're over $1 trillion in credit card debt alone. Now you're probably thinking, well, I use credit cards. I pay for food. I pay for utilities. I pay for insurance. And I pay for these things on credit because then I get 1%, possibly 2% cash back, right? And you're probably thinking, I absolutely love this. Here's where some credit card companies are now saying they're going to come out and they're going to slash your accounts. So you got a $5,000 limit. Sorry, they're going to cut that probably in half. Oh, you got a $50,000 limit. Oh, and you're spending right now, you got $30,000 that is already on that card. Sorry, you're going to be at $35,000 and you'll have only $5,000 left. They're going to slash your limits. Now, why? Look at this. It says credit card losses are rising at the fastest pace since the great financial crisis. This article just came out today. Now, who is telling us this? Well, let's look into that. It says the key points in this article right here. It says Goldman Sachs predicts credit card losses will continue to climb through the end of 2024 and early 2025. So they are already expecting the American people are not going to be able to pay back their credit cards. The losses are just going to keep adding up. And this is going to go all the way through the end of 2024, which is a year from now, and possibly into early 2025, which is in 15 months? That's a huge problem. It goes on to say, what is unusual is that the losses are accelerating outside of an economic downturn, and that credit card losses currently stand at 3.63%, which is up 1.5 percentage points from the bottom. A lot of the reasons why the American people are struggling to pay back credit card debt is simple. We don't have stimulus checks. And we are now at those levels where these are almost pre-pandemic levels, where now we're not looking to pay off credit. We're not looking to pay off our debt. What we're looking to do is just survive. That's it. And if we have to use credit cards to do so, then so be it. That's exactly what we're going to do. But here's the other problem. Look at this one. It says credit card rates are practically in loan shark territory as they hit record highs. Well, what is loan shark territory and what are they talking about? Well, it says credit card interest rates, also known as the APY, are at all-time highs. It says the Federal Reserve has raised borrowing costs to the highest level in over 2 decades to tame pandemic-era inflation. But guess what? You think the Federal Reserve is going to come out and cut rates to help you out and help me out? No, absolutely not. What the Federal Reserve has already said is that they are going to pause rates temporarily, but according to the majority of the Fed, they actually want to raise rates at least one more time over the next 2 meetings. So by the end of the year, expect interest rates, the federal funds rate, to not be 5.5%. It is likely going to be 5.75 to possibly 6%. That's where we're going to be. And at that point, expect your credit card interest rates to go up even more. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, well, what can I do? How can I pay off my credit cards? Is there a trick? There is not really a trick. A lot of people are going to point out the Dave Ramsey's his snowball method, right? The debt snowball, where you pay off the smallest account first, and then you just make minimum payments to the rest, and then eventually, once that's paid off, you take that balance, or you take that payment that you're making, add it to the next smallest account, and now it just rolls over and gets bigger and bigger and bigger as you go. That's a great option. But here's the problem. What is actually happening on October 1st? Well, there's a couple things that are happening on October 1st. The first thing, which is going to impact about 44 million Americans, is that student loan debt is going to restart. These payments that you haven't had to make for the past 3 years, guess what? They are now due. So 44 million people going to have to start making some payments on their student loans. Or if you are doing exactly what the Biden administration is allowing you to do, you will simply just wait because you have a 1-year on-ramp. Here's the problem. Your monthly payment is roughly $500 per month. But you know what also happens? What actually started happening on September 1st? Interest started to accrue, which means even if you don't make a payment until October 1st of 2024, your interest is still going to keep accumulating, which means your payment is actually going to go up. So just understand, this is not a good situation to be in. Here's another problem we have. On October 1st, we need to have some type of funding bill for the U.S. government. As of right now, the House of Representatives and the Senate cannot agree on what should be in it. We also know that Democrats and Republicans can't agree what should be in this government funding bill. The problem that we're facing right now is that some say, and even former President Donald Trump said this as well, that he was part of the longest government shutdown in history. And he's telling Republicans, you should do it again. You should let the government shut down again to pretty much force Democrats' hand to make sure that they're doing what's best for the U.S., best for the people, best for our future. So we're going to see what happens there. But one thing I can tell you is if people don't have money coming in, and let me just paint this picture for you. The federal government, let me just see really quick, how many employees does the federal government have? It says the federal government employs just under 2.2 million civilian employees. Guess what? Out of those 2.2 million, none of them would receive a paycheck during the time that the federal government is shut down. It could be 2 days, it could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months, it could be longer. We don't know. But every single one of those people would not get any money from the federal government, which means they're going to have to continue to work, but they don't get paid. So guess what? The majority of these people are probably going to start using credit cards to make sure that they can put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, right? Pay for medications they need, pay for utilities, put fuel in their vehicles to get back and forth from work, which isn't even paying them. Yeah, all this is needed. They're going to use credit cards, but guess what? Credit card companies are saying that, oh, you don't have a job? Well, we're not gonna lend you any money. We're actually gonna stop you from using our cards. We are gonna cut you off. Your account will be closed. That's the biggest thing. That's the big worry. And this is where there's gonna be millions of people that are gonna be absolutely devastated because their one lifeline, their little piece of plastic, that credit card that you're using, guess what? These companies are now gonna start to halt lending. And I know this for a fact, okay? Because I've had this happen to me in the past. I've received a letter recently that my credit card balance, my limit was going to be reduced by about 50%. It was like 48%, something like that. So it's not going to be a huge deal because I have multiple cards. But if this was my one credit card, I'd be worried. If this was my one lifeline, this was the only way I could put food on the table, I would be worried. I would be devastated if a credit card company decided, no, we can't give you $2,000. No, we're not going to do that. we're actually going to reduce it down to $500. And $500 a month, that's what you're going to have to use to buy food for your family of 4 or 5, to go and put fuel in your vehicle to get back and forth from work, every single day, to go buy the medications and pay for utilities and do all that stuff. $500. Let me ask you this. If you have one credit card, let's say that credit card, the limit's $5,000. Let's say they reduce that down to $1,000. $1,000 a month. That's all you could spend. Would you be able to do it? Let me know down in the comment section below. But that is what we know at this time. It's now been confirmed by multiple companies. And I've seen this. I've seen the writing on the wall for months that people here in the community, here on the channel, have been getting letters. Their credit card limit has been reduced by 50%. No, I'm not getting $80,000 as a limit anymore. Now it's down to $15,000. No, you don't get $5,000 anymore. Now it's down to $500. They just slashed it. That's what we're seeing. As interest rates go up, we're going to see people get less. Okay, their cards are going to come down. Expect that and be prepared. So that's what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, takes just 2 seconds. Hit that like button. Also click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the next one.